Now, against all of this background, what about the miracles found in the New Testament? Is it possible for a 20th century historian to come to the conclusion that Jesus really did perform miracles and really did rise from the dead? On this topic, Dr. Haberman, an acknowledged expert who's debated the well-known philosopher Anthony Flew on this topic. He's also written scores of scholarly articles. Listen to his answer.
Now this brings us to the question of miracles. The first quest, put on the shelf. The second quest, really wasn't interested. The third quest, the question of the miracles of Jesus at the present time, are really a hot issue. And miracles are divided into three categories: exorcisms, healing miracles, and nature miracles. And critics are fairly open to the fact that some things are really going on here. I mean, Jesus at least thought he healed people, and people at least thought he healed them. He really thought he cast out demons, and those who thought they had demons really believed the demons left. I mean, they really work with a historical scenario here. But what about the supernaturalness of the miracle? This is still on the outs with a lot of scholars. They don't think this is a time when we can talk about God acting in history. But one of the things you want to say right off the bat here is that the assumption that says at the outset, come on, we're modern, we can't believe in miracles, that's not a way to approach something. This is an inductive world. This is a scientific world. We look at things according to the preponderance of facts. And if we look at data and it looks like something has occurred that may be miraculous, you've got to put the miraculous question on the back burner. And first just ask the historical question. What happened with the miracles? What happened with the resurrection? We don't have to decide right now if God raised Jesus. But I think the way to start is to say, what happened in time and space? Was there a man named Jesus? Did he die on the cross? And did his disciples see him again? Let's not ask right now, is this an event caused by God? But what can historians say? They don't have the tools, they will tell you, to talk about miracles. But they do have the tools to say, this man walked and talked in first century Palestine. Secondly, they have the tools to say he died on the cross, a victim of Roman crucifixion. They have the tools to say people believed they saw him afterwards. On the one hand, I want to say miracles cannot be ruled out a priori. But on the other hand, I want to say let's first talk about what is good history. And then we'll ask the question, could any of these be miraculous? I think what I'm getting at here is that historians do not have a choice but to take a line of facts in the direction that the data point us. If history says Jesus is thus and so, we have to be open to looking at that. Now, what I meant there about the resurrection goes something like this. I want to know if a man named Jesus of Nazareth walked and talked on the earth about 25, 27, 28 AD. Okay, historians come in and say, oh yes, virtually nobody thinks that he didn't live. Rudolf Bultmann, by the way, said, we are not at the mercy of those who doubt or deny that Jesus lived, walked, talked in history. So the historian steps in and say, yep, I've got data for that. How about he died? Well, that's not a problem. Most people die. And historians say, let's follow that path. Yep, it takes us to the cross. The Romans hung Jesus. They put him on the cross. He died. And we can take that in history. Now, when you get to the resurrection, people start getting a little nervous here. But here's the point I'm saying. Let's not ask the question, did God intervene and pull him out of the tomb? Let's ask a much easier question. Did Jesus of Nazareth, who walked and talked in Palestine, who was believed to have been crucified on the cross, did anybody claim to have seen him alive after the cross? Did people walk and talk with him and touch him? You know, C.S. Lewis says the miraculous part of an event is the initial aspect where it enters history. But after that, everything else is very normal. For example, if Jesus multiplied loaves and fish for 5,000 plus people, once he did the miracle, the multiplication, everybody ate, everybody was full, everybody got tired. That's what happens after you eat. And you get, there's some biological things going on here. That's what happens. That's what food does. The miracle is the multiplication, not the eating and all this. With the resurrection accounts, we want to ask a simple question. Was there a man named Jesus? Did he die on the cross? And did people claim to see him afterwards? If so, why? Those are certainly claims that historians can get their fingers on. We have data there.